Alright, now that we got that out of the way, students, let us continue to connect these 13 spheres, these 13 spirits with these 13 chakras and these 13 celestial bodies as I show you how it all connects to your body and space. I believe we're at the Earth Gate, the first true chakra, then the Earth Star, and then finally our root chakra, which is connected to Mars and Saturn. I want you to pay attention to the planetary alignments now that we've went over what these energies mean. The fourth would be the sacral, connected to Venus, Jupiter, and Pluto. The solar plexus is connected to the Sun and Mars energy. The sixth would be your heart chakra, the love chakra, connected to the Moon and Venus. Alright, that's the forgiveness chakra. Your throat chakra is the seventh. That's connected to Mercury, your communication and your expressions. The eighth chakra is your third eye. That's wisdom, that's vision. That's connected to Neptune, that's connected to Jupiter and Saturn energy. Then you're going to have your three crowns chakra. That's connected to Uranus and Jupiter, the divine oneness. Then you have your soul star, your Orion star, right? That's connected to alignment and transcendence. Your stellar gateway is connected to the Sirius gateway, your Sirius constellation, your Canis Major constellation. I believe I was just saying how Malkuth is associated with the earth, which is why Malkuth is referred to as the kingdom. Then you have the Shikna, right? The Shikna is associated with Nibiru, which is why it's called the Great Destroyer. Then the 13th spirit is finally associated with Polaris, Canis Major, okay? The star Polaris and the Canis Major star system, the mother father, okay? The goddess Sophia, Pistis Sophia. Now how does it all tie with the zodiacs? Well, for example, let me explain. Netzek and Malkuth is Pisces, the Dagim, the fish. The paths between the Sephiroths that connect are the zodiac signs. Netzek and Yased are the Yosed, would be Aries, the tail, the hero, the sage, the legend. Then you have the Had and the Tefrith together being the Capricorn, the Jedi, the youthful one, the playful one, right? The place of refuge. Then you have Jifra and Hisad. When they intersect, that is Leo. That is the Ari, meaning the lion of God, okay? The lion of Yahuda, right? Then you're going to have Bina and the Tifrith, which is going to give you Gemini. As I was saying, students, when you have the Bina and the Tifrith spirits, it gives you the intersection of Gemini, known as the Teomin, meaning the twins, the two coordinators, the suiting ones. The intersection between the Hokima and the Tifrith is Aquarius. The Deli, also known as the bucket of water, are drawn up of God, drawn up of the Most High. The Tifrith and the Hisad is Virgo, also referred to as the Betula, meaning the virgin, the pure one, the purity and virginity. The Teferath and Natzek intersection is Scorpio. This is the Aknar, the scorpion. Trust, the smart one, okay? Hokmah and Hased together is the Taurus, the Strohar, the Godhead, the bullhead, the one who binds, the one who holds, the one who puts it together. The Binah and the Jifra intersection is Cancer, okay? The Sartan, literally meaning crab, the one who is the balancer, the overseer, just like the Tefereth and the Jivra together for Libra. The Matzima, the Hey. Now, usually, I thought whenever you lay something down, you don't have to repeat yourself or say it again. It's done. But, seeming as how everyone's still confused about this, let's go over this one more time, students. We're going to talk about the moon and the importance of the moon in its relationship with the sun. Okay? And I cannot stress to you enough that nothing is separate. Nothing is separate. Okay? Separation is an illusion. You see, the moon is magnetic and connected to the heart. The main symbol used for magnetism is the moon. Okay? The sun is electric, the electro. The moon is the personification of the supreme divine feminine. The sun is the personification of the supreme divine masculine. Okay? The Holy Grail is the neck and the skull. The Holy Grail is a cup because the sun, aka man, the pineal gland, the mind, the electric, the honey, and the moon, the woman, the pituitary gland, the milk, make the Christos oil in the brain and fill it up every month. This is why the moon phases are so important. This is why the moon phases and alignments are so important, because every time the moon is in position and the moon is in alignment with your sun sign, your rising sign, or your moon sign in the zodiac, you have the opportunity to activate and elevate and become the Christ within that the Gnostics talked about for the past 2,000 years. The land of milk and honey is in the mind, okay? Because for example, let's just keep reading. You have Israel. The is the female, the moon, the subconscious. The Ra is the fire, the sun, and the conscious mind. The El is the personification of God, right? The Godhead, the consciousness. That's the balance, the balancing of the two hemispheres, which is why the Star of David or the Shield of David is so prominent and malevolent to our people. But if you realize, it's just two alchemical symbols put together, one representing the masculine energy of the fire and one representing the feminine energy of the water, the left brain and the right brain. Okay? Remember, like I was explaining, the heart and the mind connection and the connection to the number 8 on my lessons 3 through lesson 8. Well, that's because when a person starts to open their heart, when a person starts to maintain and elevate, as I was saying, you see that Taurus field, that Merkaba there? That is the brain-heart connection. You see, whenever a person is in a calm state of mind, whenever a person is in an altered state of consciousness, like the alpha state or the theta state brainwave, and it's in unison with your heart, you hold more influence over the reality you're living in than matter itself. Let me say that again. You hold more influence over the reality you're living in than matter itself. This is because that state is pure ether. It's pure spirit, pure energy, producing a Merkaba. Mind is truly over matter, enabling you to have greater impact on reality. Manipulation of the particles and waves. The particles is the matter. The waves is spirit. The manipulation of the particles and waves is also known as magic, the mental alchemy. By combining a clear intention, the mind, with an emotion, the heart, a person can truly affect and change his and her reality and physical world. This is why the heart is always associated with the moon, the mother, the matriarch. Okay, this is why the heart is out of Jesus's chest, because the heart is the fourth chakra. This is the gateway, the access to the higher realms. This is the middle point, the middle pillar in the body. Oh, you thought I just had one notebook? Nah, I got about 10, motherfucker. Now, where were we? The moon. The moon controls the physical body. The moon influences the physical body. The goddess Mau, known as Mother Moon, La Luna, and Pistis Sophia are associated with the moon and rules all the liquid and waters of earth. Yes, the moon influences and rules all liquids and waters on the earth, including the liquids above and below, within and without. All water has memory, yes, but also all water is connected, kind of like a mirror or a portal. Water was the last incarnation of the earth spirit, the earth soul, The sun, moon, and star is also a personification of the sun, moon, and earth. The sun is heaven. The moon is earth. And the body is hell. Yes, they all come into tandem with each other. The moon is a giant ball of spirits. It's a ghost ball full of the spirits of the old, the lunar spirits called the ancestors. As I was saying, the moon is a giant ball of souls. It's a giant ball of spirits. It's a big ass ghost ball. Okay? That's what the moon is. It's full of the spirits of the old. The lunar spirits are what we call our ancestors, and what some Christians or Catholics would call the angels or the angelics. The angels are just angels of light. These are not egregores. The moon is not the enemy. Up until June 21st, the summer solstice this year, the moon was being used as a weapon against us. Now it's working with us. I want you to pay attention to all the weather storms that have been happening, all the crazy shit that's been happening, how people have been acting, how the water has been responding. Aren't we getting ready for a massive flood and hurricane to happen? I know y'all seen the 2025 map. What's connected to the waters? The moon. Now let me continue. It had to be charged up with the souls to accumulate enough energy to interact with us. The enemy used the moon as a weapon of illusion and confusion for us, to get us to turn our back from the mother, while the enemy was using the energy of the souls and the false light from the AI to influence our minds, thoughts, and behaviors, to divide us and conquer us from one another and have us favoring one side. You're imbalanced. If you're just focusing on the sun and you're just sun gazing and you're not moon gazing, you're just favoring.
Whenever it's a full moon, people become crazy. They have said this for centuries. It was only the scientists that caught up about 50 to 75 years ago that figured out the human body is 70% water, and the moon pulls on us too, just like it pulls on the tides. So people become crazy under full moons. That's why they call it lunatics.
Now that we've gotten that out of the way, again, hopefully I don't have to talk about the moon anymore. You will use these videos and these lessons, and you will put two and two together and understand that you can't have one without the other. Okay? Now let's continue. I believe it was time for me to show you how the chakras and the spears in the Kabbalistic tree of life connect with one another, and then show you how that ties in with the zodiac and physical parts of your body. The first one we're going to cover is the Kita, right? The crown. This is the 9 crowns chakra. Both are connected to Uranus and Jupiter energy, associated with the blue hue color spectrum and cosmic celestial water. The Binah, the understanding, is connected to the third eye chakra, the Ajna, the blue hue color spectrum, as well as linked to Saturn through the open root chakra, as above so below. You see, they're directly linked to one another. Being that the Kabbalistic tree works in sets of 3, known as triads, the Hokima is also connected to the third eye and the Shot and the throat chakras, like Binah and Kitar, because they are all the same linking triad. Okay? You can't have one. Now students, your homework for this week is to review lessons 3 through lesson 10. Okay? And I want you to try to find the similarities with lesson 13 and how they all connect together. Alright? Also, I want you guys to go ahead and do a little bit of research on the science of water. How the science of water goes into how water is connected, how water holds memory, how water is conscious. A good reference point to research for the sciences of water is Dr. Emoto. Okay, Dr. Emoto. I'll put it in the comments, I'll put it in the video and down in the description. But that's your homework for the week. I want you guys to review lessons 3 through lesson 10 and find the synchronizations. I want you to find the connections with lesson 13. What did you learn? What did you discover? Did I help you? If so, how did I help you? What did you discover along these lessons? That's your homework. Comment the shit down. Comment this shit. I'm serious. Hey students, what's good? I'm back again. Got the notebook. And I believe we left off on the Hokimat spirit of the Kabbalistic spirit of the tree of life. We were connecting the Hokimat with the throat chakra and the third eye chakra, hence its association with wisdom and Neptune and Uranus planetary energies. Which is why Dyath, also known as Doth, is knowledge, the spirit, the ether, the fifth element, the mind. The mind is all in the universe, is mental. Mind is spirit, and Dyath, is in between the first triad, the Keter, the Binah, and the Hokima, making knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Doth, or Dyath, is linked to the fifth chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, and the 9 crowns. Through Keter, Binah, and the Hokima, connecting you to the soul star chakras, directly linked to the Orion constellation, symbolizing true enlightenment and transcendence. As you transform through the realms from your lower state to your higher realms of being, you acquire what? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. This is why it's the first triad, and the Dyath is the hidden spirit. It's the clip-off, they refer to it as. That was the first 4 spirits of the Kabbalah. The next one is the fifth spirit. This is known as the Jivara. The Jivara is the 6th spirit because it deals with justice and judgment. This is complete Mars energy, alright? So it's directly linked to the Earth Gateway, the Earth Star, and the Root Chakra, as well as being connected and tethered to the Solar Plexus Chakra, dealing with what? Justice and judgment. Like I said, as well as the physical matter, your foundation in life, the will of your spiritual and your principalities, rather your religious or just whatever you believe in, what you stand on, your views on life, and your mentality of life. The 6th spirit is known as the Hesad, or the Hesed spirit, known as love and mercy. This is the Jupiter energy, the expansion energy. Jupiter energy is heavily associated with the sacral chakra, the third eye, and the 3 crowns chakra. The 3 crowns meaning the coronal energy chakra, because you have to remember, Jupiter is expansive. Jupiter is creation. Jupiter is the knowing. Jupiter is the intellectual planet. So when you have the Hesad and the Jifra, which is the judgment, and the love and the mercy combined, leading us to the 7th spirit. The 7th spirit, this one is referred to as the Tefereth, or the Teferoth. This is associated with beauty and compassion, dealing with the sun and solar energy. Being the 3rd spirit, or the 3rd spirit in the triad, it is also linked to the solar plexus chakra and the will of the soul and your mentalities, okay? Just like the Hesad spear and the Jibara spear. The next one we're going to talk about is the Natzet. The Natzet is the 8th spear, or the 8th spirit, symbolic of love, art, victory, and friendship, okay? Raising the vibration is associated with Venus energy, okay? Making this a direct link to the heart chakra, the gateway, the middle point, as the heart chakra is also influenced by Venus and the moon. The Natzet shows you how everything pulls together, and we're just on the 8th spirit. Now we're going to get into the 9th spirit. The 9th spirit, which is the Had, the splinter, the majesty. This is intellect, communication. This is heavily associated with Mercury energy, just like the throat chakra, the Vishuddha, and connected and associated with Mercury, just like we mentioned in my previous videos on Mercury energy. Which brings me to Yesod, the 10th spirit of the Kabbalistic tree of life. Yesod, referred to as the foundation, the master builder, is the universal catalyst for psychic energy and associated with the moon. The moon is associated with what? Lunar energy and the subconscious mind, just as the heart chakra is. Note how I said the heart chakra is the middle point in the gateway? The heart chakra is also connected to the moon, referring to as the foundation, because it is the base of the heart and mind connection, which you feel, see, and perceive all things we know. And then that leaves us with our final talking point, the 11th spirit, Malkuth. Malkuth is known as the setter of the tone. It's known as the final activator. Malkuth is connected to earth. The earth chakras are predominantly the first two chakras out of the 13. That would be your earth gateway, connecting you to Gaia, and the earth star, connecting you to earth and the earth round, the cosmic balancer. Okay? Malkuth connects you to earth and the cosmic balancer. As Malkuth divides and separates, it turns into two additional spears. One is referred to as the Shikna. That's all I will give you. As we continue with lesson 13. As we continue with lesson 13, I have my notebook here. Y'all done seen how I've tied 13 to the solar system, the planets. I've tied the planets to the chakras. I've tied the chakras to the zodiac. I've tied the chakras and the zodiac to the Kabbalistic spears and the Kalipov spears. And now you're going to see how I connect it all to melanin and stardust and space. Proving to you that as within, truly so without, and as above is truly as below. But first off, what is melanin? Melanin is a biological pigment found in bacteria, fungus, fungi, plants, animals, people, and interstellar space. Okay? There are three primary types of melanin found in the body: neuromelanin, eumelanin, and pheomelanin. The eumelanin is responsible for the dark colors in the skin, eyes, and hair, brown and black. Eumelanin protects us from the UV light rays of the sun. Okay? UE, or the EU melanin, is predominantly found in the indigenous people on the planet that vary from light to dark carbon-based skin. Okay? Now let's talk about the other type. The next type of melanin is called the pheomelanin. PHEO melanin, the pheomelanin, right? This is a pinkish color in parts of the body like the lips, the nipples, and so on, okay? Where the melanin malfunctions with a recessive gene and mutates. This gene, this melanin, is water soluble. This water soluble pigment does not protect the skin from UV light rays or the sun, aka the light-skinned people, the yellow-skinned people, the red-skinned people, right? Think of the recessive genes like blonde hair, red hair. They are more likely to get sunburned. However, the red hair does denote an abundance of melanin. Like, think of freckles, for example, or what people will call ginger. The third different type of melanin is neuromelanin. This neuromelanin is connected to dark matter, aka spirit or etheric energy. It's produced in the brain, which is why I tell you the mind is spirit. The brain is physical. Spirit is less dense than the physical world. It's dark matter, neuromelanin. Now we're going to continue. This is produced in the brain and controls the color of neurons distributed through the central nervous system. To my next talking point, neuromelanin. Like we were just discussing, neuromelanin is connected to and probably is dark matter, okay? Spirit and ether. Produced in the brain and controls the color of neurons distributed through the central nervous system that sends messages throughout the body. The colors are, for carbon, pink or black. Hydrogen, white or blue. Oxygen, blue or translucent. And nitrogen is usually always green or a mixture of green and yellow. Similar to the four archangels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Jabriel, and Uriel. and the threefold flame of the heart. The threefold flame of the heart, you have the blue flame to the left. Then you have the pink flame in the center. And you have the yellow flame to the right, showing you the three pillars of light, the sun, moon, and star, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, the soul, the mind, and the body, right? But also the three wise men and the three cranial nerves, the three secretions, the three secret secretions, right? Now, let's keep going on what melanin really does and provides for you. Melanin provides pigmentation to your eyes, your body, and your hair. It also absorbs harmful rays and protects you. And we're back, students. Now, as I was saying earlier, neuromelanin is connected to dark matter, spirit, and ether. It is produced in your brain and controls the color of neurons distributed in your central nervous system that sends messages throughout the body, okay? These colors show up like carbon, it would be black or pink. Hydrogen would be white or blue. Oxygen would be blue or translucent, clear and see-through. And you have nitrogen showing up as green or yellow, similar to the four archangels and the threefold flame of the heart. Now, melanin provides pigmentation for your eyes, your body, and your hair, and so on and so forth. It also absorbs harmful UV rays and protects your cells from the sun and bacteria damage, as well as send light information throughout the body. This is like a supercell. This is more than what you think it is. There are two types of melanin that make us unique by producing our pigment. By the melanocytes, the melanocytes. There we go. Hold with me, okay? They're called melanocytes. These cells develop inside your body with melanosomes, and that is how the melanin is actually produced and secreted. But we're going to keep going. You thought I was done? Nah, we're just getting warmed up. But wait, it gets better. You see this brown skin? Well, depending on the amount of melanin that you have, your eyes actually send direct signals to your brain via the projection of the, the projection of the visual cortex. You have to remember that the eyes are projections. We do not see with our eyes, we see with our mind, and our minds give the information and signals to the body on how to react within our environment, okay? So when you look at the sun, and the sun is too harsh or too strong with its lighting, our eyes actually eat and absorb that energy and those light photons and send waves of energy and information to the body, telling us to produce melanin in the body, in our eyes and in our skin, to protect us from further damage from the sun or any exposure to bacteria, which is why it's so important for us to be sun gazing and moon gazing, especially in the times that we're in, family. This is why sun gazing has been prominent and will never stop. It has been tradition for indigenous people all around the world for hundreds of thousands of years. The melanocytes are the cells that are produced in melanin in different areas of the body. A melanocyte, they're produced in your pituitary gland, your hypothalamus, and your skin cells. And they also control and regulate your appetite. Pay attention to your appetite right now, because the melanin can produce and prevent the cell death. Notice I keep emphasizing how the melanin is what produces the darkness of the hair, the eyes, and the skin, okay? I keep emphasizing that because I need you to pay attention to the pictures of the presentation. By now, we should already know what the ninth ether being is and what having 9 series or 9-strand DNA means and has in the body, which is why the lion and the indigenous Negro, the indigenous Latino, and the indigenous Indian are the only species on the planet that actually have hair due to the melanin in such a heavy concentration, family. The majority of people on the planet who might have that few melanin that varies from light to dark brown skin or that red pigmentation skin, notice they have hair like animals. They have hair like fur, like a horse, like a dog. It's because they have that 6th ether, that 6 series DNA that comes with the same cellular structure and the same mitochondria and production as animals, which is why they call humans mammals, because a lot of these so-called humans are beasts and have the same genetic encoding as animals in nature, which would explain why the melanin is resistant to the recessive gene and its genetic mutation. I'm not being... But wait, there's more. You see, melanin has also been shown to conduct and produce electricity and electromagnetic energy with no resistance. Again, with no resistance. What does that mean? That means that the melanin inside of you, rather it be the pheomelanin or the eumelanin or the neuromelanin, it is a catalyst, a heavy conductor for energy and heat. Heat. Now, how hot has this planet been this year as we're in the age of Aquarius? Let me keep going. Vitamin C, vitamin D, and vitamin A boost melanin production in the brain and in the body. Okay? Now let me say and reiterate. Melanin is produced and in alignment with the moon and the sun. It is harnessed in the sun, in the moon, with the pituitary gland in the middle brain, and released and distributed in the sun with the pineal gland. This is also why you had melos, which was the night worker, the darkness, the dark matter, also turned into melatonin, which is why people take melatonin before they go to sleep. When you sleep, where do you go? See, the majority of the planet has been duped to think that lighter skin is better, or that the straight hair is better, and that your melanin, which makes you unique, was ugly. Rather it be freckles or red skin or nappy hair or curly hair or poofy hair or broad lips or an afro or your big nose that makes us prominent all around the planet. You know, the nostrils, not those. Not this shit, okay? You hate it. Therefore, of course someone was going to come and take it from you. Of course someone was going to come and take your identity from you. Now, you want it back. Meanwhile, what makes you beautiful and what makes you unique, you've been duped to believe it was bad and dark. And that is exactly why the handlers of the world, the elite, use our science of our body to create their magic and their mythologies and write their premises and their narrative based off of our history, our blood, sweat, and tears of our indigenous ancestors, and the melanin. Why do you think melanin costs more than gold? Why do you think you have a mass production of melatonin on every shelf, but every third world country is starving? And look at America right now. Why are they paying only indigenous black African men so much money to go to China and go to Japan? Why only us? Pay attention. You're more precious and more valuable than what you think you are. Good evening, class. It's your boy back again. Got my handy dandy notebook. And we're going to continue discussing melanin. Now, we're going to get into the spinal fluid. The spinal fluid that travels to the brain as it climbs Jacob's ladder, the 33 vertebrae of the spine, the crystalline dew secreted in the third ventricle and produces the seed of the soul in the pineal gland oil and the pituitary gland oil. The milk and the honey are all melanocytes and neuromelanin and pheomelanin and eumelanin. It's all melanin. The Christos oil, melanin. The sacred secretion, melanin. The heat of the smokeless fire that rises up Jacob's ladder in the 33 pillars to reach the seat of the true mind's eye, the eye haru, melanin. It's also in, let's see, what do I have written down here? Also in scarcity, melanin will reproduce itself. And it is a powerful protector of free radicals, aka germs and bacteria that cause illnesses. Melanin is also known as dark matter, like I said and reiterated earlier, and the carbon-based pigment of space, the triple blackness of space, as well as what gives stars the colors and their light sources in space. All melanin. A lot of people are wondering where I get my information from. Personal handwritten notes I read to you guys from my notebooks I've kept over the years along with extensive research I've gotten from lectures over the years, books over the years, meditations, dreams, personal channels, conversations with other people along the journey. A lot of routes. You gotta remember, I'm a lot older than I look. A lot older than I look. Now, anyways, furthermore, upon my studies, I found that melanin produces itself with substances such as copper. It also absorbs all types of energy, such as photon light, sunlight, electromagnetic energy, music frequency, heard by the ear, and sounds, sound waves, radio waves, vibrations we cannot hear. Also absorbs energy patterns from phone waves and radio waves and radars, cosmic rays, solar wind, heat waves, microwave waves, radiation, just to name a few. Melanin also uses energy from the elements, earth, air, water, fire, and metal. Energy in our environment, like from water, from earth, from the moon. It gets energy from the cycle of planets. It gets energy from minerals and rearranges the orbit of the electrons, protons, and neutrons while vibrating and rearranging itself to fill in the weakness or low spots of energy sites in the molecular cellular structure of any organism on the planet. Do you understand the significance and the importance of melanin now? Basically, merging and rebuilding at the same time. Think of it like a supercell that can create, rebuild, adapt, and destroy itself infinitely within its own self simultaneously, similar to chaos energy. Bobby Hemmett and Brother Panic constantly talk about. The only energy that can constantly create and destroy and create and destroy and create and destroy and create and destroy. And it's the cosmic primordial building block of the etheric black waters. Yeah, put it all together. Now that you've seen how I've tied the 13 planetary bodies, the 13 chakra system, the 13 heavens with the 13 Kabbalistic spears and melanin to space, your body, and also water. See you at the next class.